Bodega Dunes Campground is part of the Sonoma Coast State Parks, which is a California state park in Bodega Bay, California. Bodega Dunes allows both tents and trailers. The maximum trailer length is 31 feet. The parking pads are sandy gravel, so there is some gravel there, but it is also pretty sandy, just kind of depending on which site you're at. Bodega Dunes is a dry campground, so that means that there are no water or electric hookups at any of the sites. But there is drinking water available. And there is also an RV water fill, so they do make it easy to fill up the fresh water tank in your trailer. There is also a dump station. You'll find both the dump station and the RV water fill near the ranger station at the entrance of the campground. Most of the sites at Bodega Dunes are fairly large. They have some pretty nice large sites there. Not too many of them feel very private though. So it does feel like you have your own space and they are good-sized sites, but you can see your neighbors pretty easily and there isn't a lot of privacy. The campsites have tall metal fire pits. They also have wooden bear boxes and a picnic table. There are bathrooms with flush toilets, and there are also showers available. The campground has both trash and recycling. The campground itself doesn't have any supplies available. There's no store there, but there is a grocery store in Bodega Bay, which is under a 5-minute drive from the campground. And the cell service at camp isn't too bad. While we were there, we had good service with our Verizon cell service. We had download speeds of over 20 megabytes per second. The campground itself does have a good amount of trees, and most of those are Monterey cypress trees. As far as animals you might see at camp, the campground is known to have skunks, raccoons, foxes, deer, and rabbits. During our most recent visit there, we actually had a lot of mosquitoes, which seemed unusual for the campground. I think it was because we happened to have no wind that weekend. During our visit, we also saw birds and different insects. And outside of the campground, while we were hiking just down the road from camp, we did see a snake as well. Now let's talk about some of the activities that you can do at Bodega Dunes State Park. First is you could go to the beach. This campground does have beach access. Some things that you might want to know about the beach access is first, it is not dog friendly. And second, it is a little bit of a ways from the campsites themselves. So you can hike to the beach. It was about 1.5 miles one way from the campsites to the beach. There's a trail that you could take, and then the trail leads to a road. So then the rest of the walk is on the road to get to the beach. You can also just drive down that road. So from the dump station, the road continues and you can get to the beach that way. And right near the beach entrance, there is a nice parking lot. So that would be the easiest way to access the beach access is just to drive down there. But it is also possible to walk. Both the beach and the trail to get to the beach are not dog friendly. The beach itself was really nice and the kids really enjoyed getting to run around and check it out. Another fun thing to do at Bodega Dunes is to go hiking. There are lots of trails right at the campground. Most of them are not going to be dog friendly though. So you can hike to the beach or you could hike to the Bodega Harbor, but none of those trails will allow a dog. There is a trail near the entrance on the road that you take to get into the campground. There is the Coastal Prairie Trail, and that trail does allow dogs on a leash. The other nice option to go hiking is at Chancellor Ranch, which is a Sonoma County regional park, which happens to be basically right across the street from this campground. So it is very close. It was a very short drive for us to get there, and it was a nice hike, and it's also dog friendly. So this could be a great option whether you have a dog with you or not. While we were there, it was pretty muddy, but it was still a nice trail. It would probably be even more enjoyable if you were able to go a time of year that it wasn't so wet. But even with the mud, it was still a nice trail, and we did see a snake on the trail as well. But there were some nice views, and it really was a nice convenient trail to be able to do so close to camp. Another fun activity to do while you're staying at Bodega Dunes is play in the sand. So our kids are always really entertained just hanging out playing on the sand dunes right at the campground. One of our visits, we had a site that was right on a dune, and they pretty much just ran down that dune and played in the sand the whole time. Another visit, we were parked right across from a sand dune, and they'd spent a lot of time with buckets playing in the sand and running up and down that sand dune. A lot of these sites have sand right at the site and are right next to a nice little sand dune area that the kids could run on, and our kids are always so much more entertained by that than I would expect. So just spending some time and letting the kids play in the sand is sometimes a nice, relaxing thing to be able to do while you're camping there. And then lastly, another fun thing to do while you're staying at Bodega Dunes is check out the town of Bodega Bay. You can go get a meal at the Tides, or you can go pick up some saltwater taffy. There's lots of fun little shops and things to see, and if you like seafood, there's lots of great options. The current cost to stay at Bodega Dunes State Park is $45 a night. If you're interested to see what our favorite campsites are at the campground, I'll add all those details in the blog article, so click the video description to get a link to the full article. I hope this helped give you a better idea if camping at Bodega Dunes would be a good fit for you and your family. If it did, please subscribe. Thanks, and happy camping!